DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. Just finished lunch and walking along a little bit earlier today just so that I can have time to make the video. When there was a group of 5 teenage boys, I don't know what age they were exactly, but they had some really loud music. I mean, I had my headphones on, so it didn't bother me. It was kind of amusing because, well, they were making a barbecue, they were having drinks, and they were dancing. I mean, there was 5 of them. It's kind of a mixture between, I was going to say almost a mixture between hip-hop and Latino music or something like that. Anyway, and they were having actually a wonderful time, but I didn't really want to pull out the camera and start filming them, but it would have been fun to see them. I mean, they were just enjoying themselves. And yeah, I guess it's the summer period, and it's like I say, it's nice to see people have fun like that. And today I'm going to do the SpookyUniversity video, which is number 75. It's on something called the butterfly effect, which I have to admit I had never heard it called that. What it is, I mean, what the discussion topic will be is to take an event or something in your past that if it had not happened, or, you know, if it changed, what would be like the changes that would have been different in your life. And it's quite amusing because I was actually thinking about that. I didn't, like I said, without using that name. Just quickly show you. I just don't get why people spread all these things around like that. Anyway, yeah, so the butterfly effect. So if I go back, I have told a story before how I met Mrs. DC, that it was through a blind date, and that somebody was not able to come, and that Mrs. DC had taken that person's place. Well, now, that is the thing if it had not happened. Now you're going to say, oh, well, you wouldn't have married her, you wouldn't have had the boys. Yeah, but I think it goes further than that. Mrs. DC, when we met, of course we met, I mean, I met her family. Her parents had made different meals or parties or whatever where they met my parents, and there was also Mrs. DC's uncle that was there. So I mean, of course, none of this would have happened if I had not met and not been going out with Mrs. DC. Okay, so about a year after we were going out together, I mean, we were in our teens, my dad, we lived in a town called Sutton, and my dad lost his job. Now we were coming up to well, we were in high school, late high school, and it was already a theme. Well, like I say, we were not extremely well off, put it that way. It's another way of saying we weren't well off, but we were okay. But we were thinking, like, how are we going to afford to go to college? We had jobs and stuff like that, and I guess we would have ended up doing like everybody else, but it would have made a lot more burden, and my parents, I mean, would not been able to have taken a large part of that burden. Well, make a long story short, the fact is that Mrs. DC's uncle contacted my dad because he knew about the situation, and told him, he says, I would have a job for you. It's probably not one that you want to keep all your life. You'll be working in a foundry, but once you're there, at least you'll have a job, and it's in a part of town not far from Montreal where finally there's all the schools, and there's a lot of industry around there. At least there was at the time. And so my dad made the big move over at first. When he found the job was going okay, we ended up moving there. By moving there, it made that we were able to go to junior college, or whatever you'd call it in America. In Quebec it's called CEGEP. But we were able to go there, which got us ready to go for university, and we were able to stay at home, so without all the extra costs. By going there, my good friend at the time met my sister, who became her husband. By extraction, if I keep going back, by having met Mrs. DC, finally I ended up doing the studies that I did because I was at the college that I was. And to make the story even shorter, because of being in chemistry as I was and following that chemistry culture of what we call postdocs, ended up in Oxford, and after that ended up in Switzerland because a lot of the people that I knew went also to the same place that I was in Switzerland. And the rest is stories that you know. I mean, we decided to stay here. So if you remove that butterfly effect, if I had not met this DC, we would not have met her uncle. My dad would, I would say 99% chance, if not more, have not taken that position. He'd have ended up with something else. We'd have had a completely other situation in life. We would not have done the studies. My sister would probably not have met the man who is now her husband. And basically all our life would have been changed. Yeah, so that is butterfly effect, as you called it, Claire. So yeah, so that's my story of an incident in my life that was, of course, major life-changing for me, but actually ended up being major life-changing for the whole family. Yeah. DC signing off. Everybody take care. Hope you have a good weekend. Bye-bye.